Welcome back to No Chill Nature, the channel where myths aren't just stories, they're survival guides. Today we're diving into part 2 of 7 mythical sea creatures that really existed. Across generations, whispers of monsters in the deep have stirred fear and fascination, beings too strange to be explained, too real to be ignored. But what if those whispers were right? Tonight, we're resurfacing another 7 sea legends, and trust us, by the end you'll never look at the ocean the same way again. Chapter 1. Cetus, the ancient titan of the sea. Before the Kraken, before Leviathan, there was Cetus. In Greek mythology, Cetus was the ultimate sea monster, so colossal it was sent by Poseidon himself to devour entire cities. It was Cetus that was meant to consume Andromeda, chained to the rocks, until Perseus arrived. But was Cetus really a myth? Or a misunderstood megafauna? Ancient mariners didn't have submarines or drones. They saw only the surface, massive shapes rising and falling, sometimes spraying mist or roaring like thunder. Some modern scholars believe Cetus could have been inspired by sightings of prehistoric whales like Leviathan melvillei, a now extinct predator with 14-inch long teeth, larger than T-Rex, and a body longer than a bus. Fossil records show these monsters ruled the Miocene seas over 10 million years ago. Massive jaws, carnivorous instincts, and the size to swallow a human whole. Could oral tradition have preserved a distant memory of these giants? And if so, was Cetus not just myth, but ancient eyewitness reporting? Chapter 2. The Lagarfljót worm, Iceland's Loch Ness. Monster deep in the foggy highlands of Iceland lies Lake Lagarfljót. Cold, still, deceptively calm. But beneath that surface, legend says, slithers the Lagarfljót worm, a serpent said to stretch over 300 feet, capable of coiling around boats and yanking them into the icy depths. The first written account dates back to 1345. That's nearly 700 years of consistent sightings, from farmers, travelers, and even soldiers. It's described as part dragon, part eel, with a head like a horse and the movement of a python. In 2012, a viral video surfaced showing a long, undulating form gliding under the lake ice. It was blurry, but eerie. Local officials declared it authentic footage, not edited or fabricated. Skeptics say it's debris. Believers say you can't debunk hundreds of years of eyewitnesses with one theory. What's compelling is this. Iceland sits on a volcanic rift zone, meaning the earth beneath the lake is constantly shifting. Underwater vents, geothermal pulses, and magnetic anomalies could disturb deep-dwelling creatures, or worse, awaken them. Could the Lagarfljót worm be a relic of prehistoric serpents, a freshwater descendant of ancient marine reptiles? In Iceland, they don't ask if it exists. They ask when it'll rise again. Chapter 3. Aspidochelone, the island that eats ships. Imagine this. A crew of sailors, exhausted and sun-scorched, spots what looks like a small island in the distance. Lush. Still. A place to rest. They row ashore, set up camp, and light fires to cook dinner. But then the ground shakes. The island begins to move. And just like that, they're gone. This is the legend of Aspidochelone, a mythical sea creature so massive it was mistaken for an island. In medieval bestiaries, it's drawn with sailors standing on its back, moments before it sinks. Some describe it as a turtle, others as a whale the size of a mountain. But here's the twist. Giant leatherback turtles, the largest in the world, can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. Some marine biologists believe there may have been larger, now extinct species. Fossil records also reveal the Archelone, a prehistoric turtle over 13 feet long. Its shell could carry a small car. Is Aspidochelone just ancient exaggeration, or a memory of a true leviathan that once ruled the surface? When the sea offers you land, Beware, it might just be hungry. Chapter 4. Umibozu, the shadow from the waves. Japan's seas are mysterious, haunted by countless legends. But few are more feared than the Umibozu. Described as a massive humanoid figure with smooth, bald skin and eyes like glowing stones, the Umibozu is said to appear suddenly on calm waters before destroying ships without warning. According to legend, the moment a sailor speaks to the Umibozu, the creature becomes enraged, smashing the boat or demanding barrels to be filled with water. If denied, it capsizes the vessel. Some think these tales stem from sudden rogue waves or giant squids. Others suspect mass hallucinations caused by fear and exhaustion on open waters. But eerie similarities show up in modern accounts. Large, dark shapes rising during storms, strange noises, boats sinking under calm conditions. Could the Umibozu be a folkloric warning about respecting the sea, or a cryptid that still haunts Japan's coastal waters? Either way, if the sea falls silent and you see something rising, don't speak. Chapter 5. Encantado, the shape-shifting river. Dolphin. In the Amazon, the locals speak of a beautiful stranger at village festivals. Charming, dressed in white, a master of music. But when the sun rises, he's gone, and so are the women. This is the legend of the Encantado, a shape-shifting dolphin spirit who takes human form, seduces villagers, and returns to the river by dawn. As strange as it sounds, this myth is tied to the Boto, or Amazon river dolphin. These pink-hued mammals are highly intelligent, and their strange, human-like faces may have inspired the story. Fishermen have reported Botos approaching boats with eerie awareness. Some even claim they've seen them standing upright in shallow waters at dusk. Scientists have studied these creatures for years, but their behavior remains oddly elusive. Could the legend of the Encantado be based on something more than superstition? A case of animal intelligence crossing into the uncanny? In the Amazon, they don't mock the Encantado. They warn their daughters to be home before dark. Chapter 6. The Selkie Seal people of the Northern Isles. In the storm-lashed cliffs of Scotland and Ireland, whispers speak of Selkies, beings that are seal in the sea, but human on land. According to legend, they shed their skins at night to walk the shores. If a human steals their seal skin, the Selkie is trapped, forced to live a human life, often in sorrow. Many folktales tell of fishermen who married Selkies, only to be left behind when the skin was found and the sea called them home. The myth may be rooted in sightings of northern elephant seals or gray seals standing upright on rocky beaches, especially when seen in fog or twilight. Their large, soulful eyes and humanoid postures can look almost mystical from a distance. Anthropologists also believe Selkie legends helped coastal communities explain the sudden disappearances of loved ones at sea, and the feeling that the ocean always takes what it wants. Whether myth or metaphor, the Selkie reminds us, the sea gives, and it always takes back. Chapter 7. The Bakunawa, the moon-eating serpent of the Philippines. In ancient Filipino mythology, there is a creature so powerful it could rise from the ocean and swallow the moon whole. They call it Bakunawa, a sea serpent with a mouth so vast it could black out the sky. During lunar eclipses, villagers would bang pots and pans to scare it away, believing it was devouring the moon. Even today, this ritual is performed in rural areas. Myth says Bakunawa once lived peacefully in the sea, guarding 7 moons. But consumed by envy, it rose to consume them one by one. Only the last moon was saved, thanks to the noise and cries of the people. While we now know eclipses are celestial events, this legend reveals how deeply the ocean was tied to cosmic fears. Some interpret Bakunawa as a symbol of tsunamis or sea level rise, a monstrous force that swallows the light and brings darkness. Others wonder, could such myths be ancient memories of meteor impacts, or real creatures whose power was beyond comprehension. Whatever it was, Bakunawa remains one of the most majestic and terrifying sea legends in Southeast Asia. These aren't just bedtime stories. These are warnings carved into culture, echoes of something humanity felt but couldn't explain. And with over 80% of the ocean still unexplored, maybe we haven't seen the last of these creatures. Thanks for watching No Chill Nature. Hit that like button, subscribe, and join us for part 3, where the myths get even darker and the science gets even stranger.